It's the Life After High School podcast.
All right, episode 25. Wesley, buddy, welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you having me in your home.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Awesome, bro. Thank you. So, you said about 2 years ago, we were talking about it before we hit record, and you mentioned you had an accident that took place.
Yeah, I definitely did. Yeah, at the skate park, it was a small little fall, like kind of like routine kind of bail.
Yeah.
But instead of it being super routine, I landed back on my skateboard, and my leg hyperextended, and ended up tearing my ACL and ripping my meniscus, and flipping it like up in half in between both my bones. So it was definitely a serious injury, and like I wasn't doing anything too technical, too wild. We always jump around, do handrails, stair sets, crazy stuff like jump down things, and it was a simplistic like flat ground trick basically. It wasn't even anything large, right? So just to put that in scale, I wasn't doing anything outrageous.
Extreme, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
And it happened just like that. I've been skateboarding for years. It was a routine trick. It just went out of whack. Didn't pop right. It didn't pop at all. It actually just rolled off the wheels, and therefore the board spun kind of out of control. Didn't know where it was going. Like I said, landed on it.
Yeah.
Back on the board with one foot. Kind of did the splits, all weird, and my leg went forward and hyperextended and bent the wrong way.
I'm trying to visualize that, and it does not sound enjoyable at all.
No, it really hurt, and once I got into the hospital, and got checked out by a couple of people. They put me in like emergency surgery, so like I was put into surgery like the next day or like 2 days later type thing. I had to wait at the hospital for like 24 hours or so before they could fit me in, because there was a lot more serious things going on. But thanks to my surgeon though, Justin Todd, he was a really
shout out to him.
Shout out to him, man. He's a really, really nice guy. He helped me through everything, and really pushed for my surgery to be a rush situation. Some people wait years to get their surgery.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I felt really blessed in that sense. You know what I mean? Okay, it's a crappy situation, but this guy's working with me to do the best he can, because like I was also there, given the option to go down to Toronto and get it done, and we were talking about that. But he's like, we'll try and make it easier on you. We can try and make it here in Sudbury, and he's one of the best. So I was we had a real serious convo, because it's a serious thing. I don't even like needles. You know what I mean? And here's this guy, I'm going to cut you open, we're going to do this. Your meniscus needs to be anchored down. Exactly. I'm thinking like, oh God, I've never been through this kind of stuff, right? So, and I knew right then and there it was going to affect a lot of things, right? So,
No kidding.
Yeah, it definitely. I had just started printing all my clothes, like doing ink, apparel, and started the Instagram, started like really, printing clothes. Like I say, I'm working with that and trying to spread the vibes with that, and then boom, I get hit with like this huge injury, which like affected that huge, So yeah,
that's incredible. Wow. Well, it's good that you've recovered and now you're back on boards and you're sledding. Are you like going slowly in your progression, or are you just
absolutely baby steps?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's good to hear.
Baby steps. Some may not see it that way. They're not like seeing, like I'm hopping back on the board, so right away they're getting the instinct like, no, he's hopping on the board. That's bad. Right. But that's my form of exercise. That's my form of physical activity since I've been a kid. That's the only thing I do to get sweaty in the winter and get like breathing.
Right. That's how you get your workout in.
Yeah, get any kind of activity. I don't like going to the gym. It's not my thing.
Right,
I like going out and doing my snowboard and snow skate and shovel like crazy to make the spots and stuff like those types of things. So like, you know what I mean? I like getting back on track. I definitely like am taking baby steps in those areas, because I know my workout routine. I have my physio that I've done since day one.
Yeah.
And I know that if I can't do 50 squat, or sorry, if it hurts to do 50 squats or whatever a day,
Right,
and it's gonna hurt to go skateboard or whatever. And it did. Like at first, I went to the skate park and we did go skate day my first summer back from surgery, and I was very sore and I could barely do anything. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like try something else this summer, and like hopped on a bicycle and really got to liking that, right? So I found like something that didn't hurt so much, but I could still do like an outside activity.
Nice.
Yeah, and got to biking. So like,
That's pretty sweet.
you know, kind of strayed away from skateboarding. I've been skateboarding for 20 some years. I can take I can take a year or a couple months off, 2 out of the year, to you know, do something different with my friends and have a fun in a different avenue in life, you know.
Right. I find also too that when you get really passionate about something, you want to keep the love, and it's tough to almost stray away and give yourself like a break from it than it is to just keep going. It's like, okay, let's backpedal a bit. We'll get back to this. Like, I know you're not, like, you're going back to skateboarding for sure, but you just needed that time.
Yes.
Something else.
Yeah, and absolutely like stuck with skateboarding throughout the whole thing. Like I, like as soon as I could walk, I went to the skate park. You know what I mean? Instead of skateboarding like 200 times a summer, I only skated like 10 times that summer.
Oh, okay.
In relation, right? So I just took it really easy, and the tricks that I were doing were obviously a lot different.
Yeah.
Like at first I was just riding around the skate park, and it was really hurting my knee, so I was like, okay, this is not going to be good. Like, we can't do this. So waited a couple months, went back, rode around. Oh, this feels a little bit better, you know, because I've been doing more physio and more of my workout to get like stronger with my leg.
Yeah.
And then realized it was going to be a long process before I got back to where I was skateboarding. You know what I mean? And you know, and I come to the realization that I won't really be competitive at skateboarding and all that a long time ago. So it's not like this huge like, I was working to be like in the Olympics. I was, you know, going to be competitive in 2020. Like, I'm 32 years old. You know what I mean? Maybe my little brother or some kids around Sudbury that are really good at skateboarding could be representing Inc. in the Olympics or something like that. But like, I'm not looking to be, you know, there. I still do it just as a fun, like, recreational kind of deal. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious. That's sweet though, because I'm curious. Take us through, and me as well, your skateboarding experience from when you begin. Like, what kickstarted you into finding it as a passion?
Oh man, like going all the way back, it's like it starts seeing it, like me and my dad just like seeing skateboarding in general, whether it be on a movie or my dad be like, yo, Wes, check that out, like skateboarding. And I was like, Dad, you know, this is that crazy cool stuff right now, and this is the
it,
stuff.
Pops?
Yeah, this is it. So, and it started like that, and my cousin like got into it, and like I don't know, I just remember seeing certain logos like the Spitfire logo and like World Industries, just certain big things like Blind. Things like that.
That's one I know real well.
The Little Reaper, like when I was a kid, man, like, oh my god, Blind and all that stuff, like, was like all it was, right? And like, and then I found out there was hundreds of companies, like great companies, like Alien Workshop, Habitat, all those wicked, you know, skate companies, and like it all started, like I said, like looking at it as like, that'd be a cool thing to like do, you know, just wheeling down the street and cruising on a skateboard. Yeah. And my cousin was into it, got like on his board in the driveway one day or another, and then like that was straight up the kickstart for me. Like it was my older cousin Wayne, and he was always cool, man. He was always into like, he got me into like Offspring, Green Day when I was like a little kid.
Nice. Starting you off early.
Yeah, like I was young and I was listening to all that stuff, and it was wicked. Like he got me into like so much cool stuff and skateboarding and so really I did definitely like have to thank him for that. And then it just grew from there, man. I never stopped. Wherever I went, like, I took skateboarding with me. Like, I moved from the south end to the valley when I was a younger kid, like in grade 3. I don't even know how old I just remember I was in grade 3. That's how I
was young.
Yeah, so I was young.
Wee lad.
We moved from like the south end of Sudbury to the valley, and it was like a change for me, right? And change school, change friends, all that stuff. But I had my skateboard. I was doing my thing, and like none of the kids here in the valley were like skateboarding or anything, right? So not very many, and none of the young kids. I seen some older kids doing it.
Okay.
And I seen them at the gas station a couple times skateboarding, doing their thing. But in my grade, I'd never seen a skateboard, so I brought mine to school a couple days, and like kids were like, "What is this?" We're in the basketball court, boom, and try and do a kickflip, land upside down. Like, whoa, this kid like works at it, like he's doing things, or whatever.
Yeah.
And a couple kids got interested, dude. We had a crew after that in the valley. It was like, oh man, we made a website. Oh, yeah. We made videos, dude. It was thing, and then it just built up. And like I always wanted to create something bigger, a brand, a company from it. Like I always seen these skate companies like doing so good. You know what I mean? Some of them failed, some of them did really good, and some of them are still to this day like Vans and Spitfire and all
those
these
are too big to fail at this point.
Powell and all these great like companies that you can never ever. They'll never go under because they're the originators, they're the creators of this whole situation. So, I always was inspired by these bigger companies and wanted to do my own thing. Like, why can't we do it? Why can't Sudbury has so much talent, and that's what I also want to expose. Is some people want to create a company or create something to just like emphasize them. Like, look at me, this is what I do. Me, you know what I mean? There's definitely like an I in ink, but there's like no I in team, and it's Team Ink around here, and it's like put everywhere on my coffee table, on places on my back patch, on my jacket.
Nice.
Everywhere I go, you know what I mean? That's I need all my squad to help me to help make the whole thing happen, right? I can't make a whole snowboard setup. It takes an army of us with snow floats and rails, and I can't lift a rail, and just right there, That being said, so our backyard setup takes a crew of people, and we definitely have a thing going on, and that's what I want to try and do, is bring people together. Some people don't like that. They're like, oh man, I like doing my own thing, but I'm really all about bringing people together because I see he's talented. I see this guy's talent. Oh, you're good. Oh, let's all snowboard together, because that would make it. That would make us like a force to be reckoned with, rather than you being cliquey, you being on your own thing, and we're all from the same city. Yeah. That's real kind of negative vibes right there. So I just try to bring people together. I just want everyone to like be able to benefit from this. If you're so concentrating on being, trying to be cliquey or whatever, you're not going to be focused on the main goal, which is like filming and getting clips and getting out there and exposing yourself snowboarding. And that's what these kids need to do, and that's what I want to do. Is like eventually I want to try and like work at filming more. Oh, you're going out snowboarding? Okay, maybe I'm not going to buckle up in my bindings and try this handrail this time. I'm going to film. Like, I'll bring the lights out, the camera, the action, and some music, and film you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Because, like I said, I'm over the competitive thing. I'm over trying to like.
Right, that's not something anymore that you see yourself doing.
No, I want to snowboard because, like, I want to snowboard and do my thing. I'm not doing it to try and be competitive and try and get sponsored anymore or anything like that. Like for my vision, you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Right. In all reality, if anything, like, I want to do snow skating. Snow skating is my thing. Like, snowboarding and skateboarding, huge niches, big markets, big things going on, and snow skating is like this. It's this like thing that's growing and getting bigger, and it's huge right now actually. And there's not that many companies or people doing it. There's only like 3 or 4 in the whole world that make snow skates.
No shit.
You know what I mean? The certain type that I use anyways. Right. The trick style single.
No kidding.
Single like supply snow skates. You know what I mean?
Right. So there's a lot of room for you to make a dent in the niche.
Yeah, there definitely is. I would like to make snow skates, but I'd also like to work with the companies that make snow skates too.
Right.
Because I want to become like a graphic designer. I want to work with my art, and I also want to work with people that are already doing great things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, if I have to, eventually I would love to make my own. Yeah, though. Like if it comes down to it, and I can't work with other companies and things are not working out, like that's definitely something I've been looking at, because out of skateboarding, snowboarding, and all that, those types of presses are the like easier ones to make. Yeah, because they don't involve so much money. Yeah.
Nice. No, and Barcelona's pretty fucking sick.
Oh yeah, it was a crazy experience, man. You'd skate spot to spot, and you would see a spot on the way to going to a spot on this Google Maps thing. So we're like, no man, it's just around the corner. And they're like, no dude, look at this ledge around this corner. So we'll stop here before we go there. And it's like you keep just seeing them on the way, man. And it was amazing to see certain things not skated.
Mm-hmm.
That would have, it's like, if this was anywhere else, this would be definitely a spot, or this would be skated huge. And they're just like, no, there's way better stair sets than that one. So just down the street, go to this 10 set because that one's perfect.
Wow.
And I was like, oh man, this is like where skateboarding
Paradise.
Lives. Yeah, and you've seen it, man. I seen like ridiculous like pro skateboarders. I seen my friend get his ass whooped by a girl in Game of Skate 2 times in a row because he thought he was gonna like, oh, this time I'm not gonna go easy on her because she's a girl, or he thought he went like easy on her the first time. No, she's
that much better.
She just kicked his ass again,
and
it was super. Oh, she was ridiculous, and it was cool to see that, like, because I knew she was good. I was watching her skate the whole time. I guess he didn't see her like killing it,
no.
So he goes like try to hot shot it, or I don't know how it went about. Either way, it might not have been like a hot shot move, but either way, my buddy goes to go play skate with her and just gets his ass handed to him, and we didn't expect that, right? I didn't honestly. I seen her skate and she was good, but my friend's real good too, so, and there's that side of it. And then there was like another moment where the other young kid we went with, he plays a game of skate against a Nike professional skateboarder and beats him 2 times in a row. And the Nike guy was like very steamed because the kid beat him once and he's like, okay, now I'm going to go ham on this kid.
Goes ham and then gets...
Like, rock, paper, scissors right away. As soon as the first game ends, I want a second game, like, to beat you. And my friend, like, the younger kid's like, okay, second game, man. And he's a relentless kid. This kid's so good at flat ground. Yeah, Tim Padima. He's, like, super... super good at skateboarding, man. He's, like, up-and-coming, like, amateur skateboarder. Yeah. Like, deserves, like, you know what I mean? A lot of respect because he's stuck with it for a long time. Like some skaters in Serbia like definitely stopped the whole winter. He's moved out of town to continue skateboarding through the winters and all that. You know what I mean? Very dedicated. Yeah. That's sick. So hopefully he goes. He gets somewhere with that because he's definitely trying his butt off to get somewhere in skateboarding. And he is. He's doing really good.
That's sick, man. Because I think Tim. He's a year younger than I am. Like, I'm 23.
Yeah?
So, yeah, I think because he went to Lockerbie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because I was like, I recognize the name. And when you said skateboarding, I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember him, like, flipping over stairs and shit.
Yeah, real good.
Back in the day, I fucking decent, man.
Kid's super good, yeah. He's really good. Yeah, so, went with him to Barcelona, and he was funny, man. He kept me going for sure. There was lots of times where we had, like, skateboarded for, like, 10, 12 hours that day. Literally, like... We didn't stop from like leave the Airbnb at 9 in the morning on your skateboard. You're skateboarding everywhere. You skate while you skate spot to spot and you skate hard at the spot. Bringing out t-shirts and stuff like that because you're so sweaty.
Right, it's like 29 degrees.
Oh man, middle of summer there is super hot.
Dude, you're telling me I was there like almost the exact same time.
Yeah. So
late August. Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's 29 degrees, sun doesn't go down forever.
Beautiful, but like when you're skateboarding you're like getting worked, and it was definitely like a cool experience to have. Like,
it sounds sick.
Yeah, to have like that Tim whoop that guy's butt and skate
Yeah,
2
it's
times in a
pretty
row
sweet
was just
story,
like an
yeah.
experience and a half. Like I was like, hey, we're out here. Like Sebri
Like, let's go. We can make
actually
it.
like
Yeah.
said something. You know?
And he reps Inc. Eh?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
he's definitely, he's definitely he's sponsored up and he has he's got his rules and regulations he's got to go by because he's sponsored and he has his like there's a couple of kids that are
Nice,
you know what I mean, that'll rep Inc. but they have their other sponsors that they got to wear on a daily, but they got a hat, they got a tube, they got the hoodie, they wear it on to the bar, to their whatever on their own time. But like in videos, if they're getting footage on their bike or on their skateboard or on their scooter, some of them are sponsored up
and they need to put on the other.
And they have to wear the gear that they're already sponsored by, which is totally understandable.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get that same kind of vibe going on where it's like I got my team and you're on the team because you're ridiculous because that's what we do. In all of the different avenues, skateboarding, snowboarding, biking, scootering. I'm down with the scootering, man. These kids on scooters are insane and people need to give them way more respect. And it's just like rollerblading. Some people are like, oh, rollerblading. You see a guy do a backflip at the skate park on the concrete with rollerblades?
Oh, man.
I've seen it. Over the spine, dude. There's this guy that comes through and he does mad 360s, 540s, and backflips over the spine and like barrel rolls. Dude, he's nuts on the blades. He lands fakie on the spine, cruising, flying, doing grinds everywhere. 1 foot this, 1 foot that.
What's going on?
Yeah, down the handrail, all this. So, yeah, there's this guy. He's from, I forget where he's from. He's either from Australia. I'm pretty sure he's from Australia. And this guy is nuts. Yeah. Either way,
oh man, the type.
It doesn't matter where he's from. The guy
he's good.
He's so good, and he comes through the Sudbury skate park every once in a while with his blades on there, and like some people were like, "Oh, this."
Like they judge hard.
Yeah, judging hard, and it's just no. Yeah, and we have the same thing going on with the scooters, man. There's more than a handful of kids that are just lethal weapons on the scooters, like backflip, huge off the spine, like way over your head on a scooter, like that's. Huge balls, huge skill, everything is involved there. So, it like talent is talent, and people are gonna hate on the great. They really will.
I like that.
It's
hate on the great.
Well, you see someone like doing so good, you're like, oh, or whatever, I could do that, or this and that. I heard it this week when like Craig McMorris was here in Sudbury filming for X Games and stuff like this, and I was. We were all like amazed. Yeah, we knew that he was coming down and all that, but they were being very like secretive. They were doing their thing. They're filming for a professional video, and there's some kids just being ignorant, like, "Oh, let me in. I could do this on this rail. I could." It's like, it's not about you.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care, man. It's not about you, and then that's just gonna get you further away from him. Yeah. And either way, you just see people act all these type of ways when the greats are involved. This guy is great. He's filming for X Games. He comes to Sudbury. That shit doesn't happen every day.
No.
So we were all hyped, we were all pumped, we were all geeking out, and like we were all messaging him on Instagram and messaging him through social media. And he answered a couple of us. He answered me. He answered a couple of us. Nice. And really nice dude. And all I did was just send him spots that I have on photo. Like I have photos of handrails and freaking wall rides and any kind of snowboard thing that we do. And I just sent him photos, and I'm like, you need any locations or whatever, like,
smart.
Trying to be helpful, you know what I mean?
I was thinking you'd do.
Not trying to be like,
let me get in the video, let me make something off of you. But
no, we were like, if anything, I was like, we have trucks, snow floats, cameras, what do you need at hand with? I have all the locations, I know my way around town, like, I can help you.
Yeah, make it efficient.
Yeah, I can help you, like work with this, and we know, like, some crazy spots. So, yeah, and that's what I meant to say, like, when someone's doing something wicked, you see the people like that are negative about it, but it's so minute that it's funny, you can laugh about it, and it's a joke because everyone that's real and that's down is going to support the people that are real and that are down with people, like real, recognized real. I'm not here to do it for me, I'm here to do it, like I said, for the kids that go skate day and like help kids out with snowboards. I have so many snowboards in there. I just started handing them out to kids that don't have snowboards. Why would I have 10 snowboards? I only have 2 feet, and you can only strap into one snowboard at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I only need I have my setups, one for street, one for hill, and there's I'm a snowboard collector, skateboard collector, all this kind of thing. So I have a couple of them, but I have way too many. And like I said, I needed to start doing that. Same with skateboards. I had all these spare skateboards hanging around, and there's this kid in town that snaps skateboards by the dozen a summer, more than that. And he snaps like crazy skateboards. So just hand this kid an old skateboard, it might last him a week, but that's a week he can skateboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a big issue when you're 13 years old. How do you come up with $70-$80? Skateboarding is still kind of expensive in that
If
sense.
you want a good board for doing the shit he's probably doing.
Well, if you need just a board, just any kind of board is definitely some money. And if you're really into it and trying tricks and experimenting, that's when it happens. That's when you break boards.
Right.
People are like, "Oh, he's not good. He's breaking all these boards. What's going on? You're supposed to land on the what?" No, man. Skateboarding. When I was competitive and I got medals to prove that I was competitive and that I wasn't shitty, I was breaking boards. Just that point, you're not shitty when you're breaking skateboard. That means you're fucking giving her the rockets, and you're doing the most, because you're trying to jump down the shit and you land wrong on the board, jumping down something, and you break a board.
Right.
You know what I mean? Skateboarding's improved in that sense, but by making composite style boards with carbon fiber and different plies in them, but they're still not invincible. The skateboard is still made out of mainly wood, and that's the feel we like.
Right.
As skateboarders, and they're never going to get rid of that. They've tried aluminum skateboards, they've tried all this kind of funky monkey stuff, and it's not going to work. We like Canadian maple, and yeah.
Nice. Have you ever considered, or do you coach snowboarding and or skateboarding?
Yeah. I've done it a lot in the past, and I still do it from time to time here and there for sure. Yeah. I got a lesson actually this week or next week, depending on. Yeah, someone just asked me this week if I could give their daughter a lesson.
Nice. Is that because I like that? I think that's probably one of the best ways to get into it, because I find it'd be tough to just pick up a board and go, and it's intimidating, right?
Yeah.
And having somebody of your stature in that community going as a mentor, it's gives them a lot more reassurance and confidence to actually go out there and try.
For sure.
Skateboard.
Well, that's the thing. The person messaged me, and she was like, my daughter doesn't want to go to Adanac and get a lesson. She wants a lesson from you, because I taught her how to skate out here. She was the neighbor, and that's the relationship she has, right? She only knows that. She doesn't want to go to Adanac from someone she doesn't know.
Right, getting
someone
paid more than they should.
She's shy.
Yeah.
She's already got that going on, so she doesn't want to, have to learn how to talk to some new person and kind of what they're all about. She knows that I'm cool. I'm not gonna. There's nothing weird about it. You want to learn how to skateboard. You want to learn how to snowboard. That's what I've been doing my whole life. I can teach you. And
you said 20 years, you said, roughly?
Yeah,
more or less.
Long time, man. Long time. Yeah,
That's
it's
incredible.
just been a hobby, but it gets serious when you've been at it for
Yeah,
that
right.
long.
At this point, I would call it more than a hobby. I'd call it a passion project of yours.
Yeah,
for sure.
lifestyle.
Lifestyle, man. That's
I've just
it.
been skateboarding, and it's never gonna stop. I never took a summer off. I never had it just hanging around, and no, man. I've been at the skate park constantly. Like I said, even on my lightest year with my surgery and everything, I was there 10, 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go. I had to see if I could roll around better, if I could even pop an ollie. Was I going to be able to get back on this thing ever again in my life?
Mm-hmm.
It was at that point. So I was like, every couple weeks, every month or so, I'd go and see the skate park and see my progress in that department, because I seen the progress in my workout and my physio. So I was just, I was just staying away because that's where I got hurt. I know for sure you can get hurt skateboarding. So I was just like, okay, let's limit the possibilities of me getting friggin' hurt again.
Yeah.
And do something, more less impact and more focused on rebuilding my leg, which was biking. So yeah, we got into biking heavily in the last summer or two, and and that's sweet. That's been what we've been doing lately.
So with that, like, where's your go-to spot to bike?
We usually actually bike out here in Hammer. Yeah, there's a lot of nice spots in town. Don't get me wrong, we do go to town, and we got a lot of people that ride in town too. And we've had some of our biggest like meets in town with all the bike people, like gathering together and getting together to bike. But it seems to be the Valley or Hammer is the main spot, because we got a bunch of like nice new subdivisions and streets,
right?
And it's all, it like kind of like tones down the wind and stuff when you're on those subdivisions too, in those subdivisions. And yeah, we just been doing our thing around here in Hammer and the Valley, and it's perfect for us that live out here in the Hammer or Valley area, because you know the boys from town come to us. Some of us don't even have to drive. We can literally bike to the meet, bike around, and bike back home. So, and we get a lot of kilometers, man. We were doing, we were biking at least 2-3 times a week, and some people more, some people a little less. But that was like my ratio for sure, is 2-3. And we were doing like 10 to 15 kilometers a bike. So it's putting in like sometimes 30-40 kilometers a week.
Right, and these are just leisure bike rides, right?
Yeah, and we're just and we're like sometimes we're like, you know, doing our thing, and we'd go to the jumps and like and jump around and like work real hard, like shoveling and everything, so you wouldn't see it, like, but if you put it on like a step counter and the kilometers on your your bike app or whatever, it all adds up to getting the workout and rebuilding my leg. Is what it was all about. Being with the homies and not having to be secluded to my house and just being kind of like quarantining here, just doing a workout, rest. My workout, like I said, is usually an activity that I like doing with my friends, and that's how I get my like physical activity.
Nice. That's decent. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I fuck with that.
yeah. It's got the
So that's more or less, that's your exercise form, and then it turns into something that's, you're just building more of a community.
yeah.
The more you do it.
Oh, it escalated real big, because I'm not even gonna lie, like we were biking around, and I had a couple people biking, but we started a chat on Instagram, and it was a couple people's idea. Everyone was like down with it, so okay, cool, man. I started a freaking chat, and it just blew up to the point where we had to start another chat, because that chat was so filled up with people, and we couldn't add anybody else, and it was kind of getting reckless, because some people were on there, they weren't really biking, whatever, right? But there was a lot of people through it, so we weeded that out and started another chat. But it escalated that big that honestly, like,
That's awesome.
yeah, and it was just funny to see that it created such a ruckus that we couldn't even handle it on Instagram. It just got so big, people couldn't even catch up. Like, I would come up from underground, I would check my phone in my locker. You can't have your phone at work, right? So I check my phone once I get out of my locker, out of the dry, and I'm in I'm like in my truck or whatever, starting my truck. Check on my phone, dude. The thing just scrolls down. It looks like someone's like scrolling through a Rolodex. The thing just keeps going. Boom, loading. People have been talking all day. And I just worked a 12-hour shift. My phone was on airplane mode. I turn it on. It loads up everything,
almost
dude.
Explodes.
So I can't catch up on everything, right? And you miss certain things, and people are like, "Oh, you didn't come to this ride out." Or, man, I didn't even know you guys were going out tonight, because like I would have had half an hour to even get that figured out after work. But either way, it got to a point, like I said, where it was just getting out of hand. It was funny to see that. Like I wasn't mad at it, you know?
Yeah. Man, that's pretty sweet. Wow. Because like I see your stories. I'll see Cole's stories that you'll post as your stories and shit. And I'm like, man, that shit looks sick. You guys just wheeling around everywhere.
Yeah, and it's all the boys. Like, you got to give credit to like Eric and Cole and my buddy Tim, who I live with here, and like everyone. There's a bunch of kids like Derek and my buddy Cody and Matt Alberton and all these people. Like I could shout out. And that's what brings it together. I'm not gonna, like, I do go biking out alone sometimes. I do go out biking alone. You know what I mean? But
not as fun.
it's definitely not as fun. That's only when I know I got to do my workout, and
Right.
and no one's going biking that day. Okay, I'll go around the neighborhood for a half hour, or
Yeah.
go try and even get an hour of biking in. But it's not the same. I always come back like sooner than I would want to. All that stuff. If you're out with your friends, you go for hours. We'll go,
Yeah,
like I
bet.
say, sometimes 20 kilometers, man. Sometimes like longer, and I was just putting like an average when I said it earlier, but we've done crazy ride outs where like, we've done huge kilometers and stayed out for long times, you know.
That's sick.
So we're out trying to be positive, like doing a like positive thing, having fun, getting activity, like getting our activity on, and that's like what it all comes down to, and just like you say, building like our little bike community thing that we got going on. We like wheelies, we like cruising around with tunes and stuff like that. Some of us like jumping, going to the dirt jumps and stuff like that, but in general, it's all biking. And yeah, I'd like to create like a cool little there's some guys in town that have like street bike clothing, and I want to see if they want to do some sort of like thing where we could collab and stuff like that,
That'd be
and
pretty sweet.
or something like that, or I'll just do my own graphic with bikes and wheelies and stuff like that, and I'm gonna do like some wheelie shirts or hoodies, and,
What are they called? What's their name? Do you know?
Let's Ride or something like that. I don't actually know.
Okay.
Honest to God, I just heard about them the other day, and I'm gonna have to ask my friend
Okay, yeah.
that told me about them. To tell you the honest truth. But yeah, someone just told me that there's a street bike like crew in town that do clothes, and they are like have their own anyways printed.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to see if they wanted to like meet up, even like they could do a couple wheelies on their bikes. They could do a couple wheelies on our bikes, and then just stuff like that. And that's the thing, just meeting with new people and stuff like that's what I like doing. That's how the world works. That's why we're here. Yeah, and that's how you market. If you want to be a business person, that like it doesn't work any other way. You don't just sit there and people come to you and all this stuff. Even Nike has to do all they can in their power. That's
marketing.
That's why they spend so much money on marketing a year.
Yeah.
That's why it just grows and grows into a bigger beast, because they're spending more and more money on that. Never mind like holding back on it. They're not like so big that they can say, "Oh, I don't have to do too much advertising this year. I'm Nike." No, never has that ever happened.
Right. Plus, it's also like you said. I think this was before we hit record, where some of it's a lot of old shit, right? You said they're always coming out with new shit too. Like you're in that challenge as well. They face that challenge for sure, right?
Absolutely.
Like 100%, just on a greater scale, but they still face it.
Absolutely. I bet you they have warehouses of stuff.
Full of old stuff.
Like drive or whatever. You know what I mean? Who knows? But exactly, yeah. And there's definitely a consistent battle in that, because fashion's always changing.
Yeah.
Just last year or 2 years ago, let's say everyone was wearing all tight-fitted clothes. Now it's like the trend is to be all old school, retro, baggy.
Yeah.
It's like, so how can you even keep up? 2 years ago, I had to be a year in advance trying to make my clothes for next year. You know what I'm getting at? Like, you have to make that stuff in advance. So you have to, there's such a big battle in that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an unpredictable cycle to keep up. It's unpredictable
to keep up. But if you are good with it and your brand is the styling brand that's leading in those, the other ones are the ones that are following. There isn't that kind of...
Right.
You came out with those new baggy slush pants that everyone wants to rock, and that's retro.
Mm-hmm.
You came out with that crazy windbreaker blazer that everyone wants. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like that you're creating those new things, so the other people are gonna follow. That's where I want to be. You know what I mean? Right now, I am one of those companies that's just putting my logo on a hoodie, just putting my logo on a pair of track pants, like not doing anything intense with the design scale of things where I want to be. I want to design everything right to the stitch. I have the ability to. I have a portfolio full of it, like, you know?
Yeah.
So it's,
for sure.
Yeah, it's just, it's all about just getting there and now working forward towards this instead of all the other types of jobs I've done in the past.
Right. So now with that, and with putting your logo on your own shirt and stuff, now that it's actually printed on your own merch, you used to, correct me if I'm wrong, how old were you when you painted when you were painting the logos on people for kids at the skate parks. You did that, right, for a bit?
Yeah, for sure. That's how this all started. So like the doodle came about, the drawing, like, you know, rewinding back in time in the interview. The logo came about on a sketch pad. Then it was always I wanted to create a brand. So I was like, hey, logo, brand, put this logo on like a skeleton t-shirt. Boom, drew it out, and I was like, hey, how do I create this? How do I create this? And it was always like trying to work with people. I was a little kid. I was like 13, 14 years old or whatever, you know what I mean? I might have been 15 years old by the time that I was getting figured out. By the time I was trying to like print clothes.
Yeah.
And it was super hard, and I'm like, you know what? I'm the artist. I have this logo. I can draw like crazy. I can draw like portraits like crazy. I can draw anything I want. So I'm going to try painting. Let's give it a go, you know what I mean? And on clothes and everything, I've never really painted anything like, you know, any crazy like nice pictures or anything like that. As an artist, I can admit that. I'm more of like a pencil artist. A sketch, I can draw, I can design, I can, you know, very fine artwork, detailed stuff, but not very many paintings, right? So I, you know, just hop right into it, grab some fabric paint and stuff like that, and it turned out to be like some of like the craziest fabric paint. This one's a custom painted hat right here.
That's sick.
So I got it embroidered black, but I did the orange and the white.
No shit, really?
Yeah, and
what the fuck?
And the
dude, it looks like it was printed on my lids, like you said.
And so the
that's wild.
Thanks, man. That's wicked to see your reaction. The paint lasts a really long time though. Is what I want to say. Whereas like silkscreen and stuff like that will eventually crack at some point in time or fade or whatever. Dude, I have friends like with shirts that are old, even if they're gone now. Like up until like last year or a year ago, a friend had a shirt that was like 10, 15 years old, man, and the thing was still on there, like a little bit faded, but it was still on there because the paint like soaks into the shirt. It's not like on top of it like a silkscreen or a sublimation print is. And man, it's like soaked up right in the shirt, and it just looks so classic, and like the shirt's all faded. You can tell it's a 10-year-old shirt and the logo and everything, but it's there. It's not ripped off the shirt. It's not cracking. It's all there. It's just a little bit faded. And I was like, and that gave me kind of like a re-inspiration to start painting again, and I've been painting a lot since. Actually, I painted like a bunch of stuff in the last little while. On top of printing, because it's just not enough. People want that hand-painted stuff still.
Right, it's more authentic, I think.
It is more authentic, and I think that'd be really cool to do events where I have a booth full of my printed stuff, but you can get a hand-painted shirt here from West for an extra, you know, $10 or whatever, and see them do it right in front of your face, kind of thing, or whatever.
Are you gonna have any like you're gonna have your merch up at the skate event, right?
Yeah,
the snow skate one. Nice.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, have as much stuff as I can out at that snow skate event. It's going to be more about like, like a city snow, like a snow day.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a kid, like a family day for the kids, sliding, skating, hot chocolate. Cool stuff.
Hot chocolate.
We're not trying to like, you know, sell too much stuff to people. It will be there. I'm gonna bring my stuff.
But you're not gonna be like waving it.
No, it's gonna be more like, kid, here, try this snow skate. This is snow skating. You know, they're sold at sessions, like kind of thing, like more for sessions. And I am gonna push my stuff too, but I mean, like, I'm not going to be, you know, very. It's not. It's not like I'm setting up an you know, an event.
You're not
like,
setting up a booth where you're selling shit.
No, Sessions asked me to do a snow skate event, and I can definitely put my stuff with it.
Nice.
But it's more of like, you know, an event like for the city and for snow skating. But I'm definitely gonna always have my logo wherever I go, and have a few items always on hand. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Always have stickers and tubes and stuff like that for the kids. Yeah, it's all about the kids, man. When I was a kid, that's why I got inspired. Like I said, when I was a kid, to see my cousin skateboarding. So it's like, you know, you see, and it happens in everything, like skating, hockey, all that stuff. Like you see, oh man, you see Crosby. Some kid wants to like take his dad's hockey stick, cut it, and like use it as his own, and freaking go out there and shoot puck. You know what I mean, at the ODR. And it's like, that's what sparks, you know, like that interest right off the hop. And if you can make it enjoyable, really cool, not just like, oh, like buddy's there sitting with a smoke and a skateboard, under his foot. You know what I mean?
Or he doesn't
Like,
actually know how to use it.
right, I'm looking cool right now. No, or yeah, you got it, man. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All
You
right.
said it. I didn't say it.
Posers, bro.
Yeah, I know,
I
but
can't stand it.
yeah, but and there's nothing wrong with not being able to like do crazy tricks or anything like that, and being at the skate park and being that guy. But it's there's you know the guys, you know the people that are,
Oh,
are
yeah.
there, and that's you don't. Those are the kind of like bad images you get from skateboarding, and that's what I definitely don't want to create.
Right, they're the guys always at the skate park, but you've never actually seen them skate.
Right, or whatever. Yeah, our Talk Mac game. I had some kid say he moved from some town, out of town in high school, and I remember him coming into our clique and straight at the lunch table and straight being like, "Yo, I heard you're the snowboarder in town or whatever," and we're all like looking at each other like, "Yeah, like we're the people that like snowboard the most around here. Like we're always at the ski hill like every freaking day it's open and everything like that. Cape Royal Ski Hill. Shout outs to Cape Royal Ski Hill when it was open." And
Nice.
and he just came in like all hot shot. Yo, I used to be this, that. It was sponsored. It was huge. I used to compete. All this stuff. He comes out, dude, man, like you've never been on a snowboard in like 10 years. Like, like don't. And it was the funniest stuff because like everyone's seen it. It wasn't like I didn't have to. No one made fun of him, but it was like. You just talked all that game at school, man, and then you come to the ski hill night skiing, and you didn't show us the Olympic run that you were talking about or the X Games stuff. And
that guy.
Yeah, and it's all about just like being real. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about skateboarding because you see it.
Real recognize real, right?
Yeah, and you see like the people that do the faking and fronting, and you see the people that are actually honest. Man, I just got this skateboard last week, I really want to learn how to, oh man, I'll take you under my wing, you want to learn how to ollie? Rather than that hot shot, I know how to do this, right on his face, because skateboarding's hard as hell.
I tried to kickflip, I can't do it. I can ollie.
That's good.
A curve. That was the best I've gotten.
But that's real good though, like, you know what I mean? Man, it takes years to even get to that state, so that's real good. You know what I mean? Some people have like, like have the knack for it too. Like some people like it more than others. The pain for the pleasure too, because it really hurts when you fall skateboarding. So you're like, some people are just like, no way, man. I'm like real good without that, And I never really got hurt until my injury, like lately.
Yeah.
But like seriously, like I never really had no intense serious injuries. I had a bunch of falls, bumps, scrapes, bruises, all of the above, but never no serious injuries. So I always stuck with it, and that's what it takes with everything. You're not going to be good at guitaring. You're not going to be good at anything without practice. It takes
100%.
time.
And you're going to suck at it too at some point. Like you're going to
absolutely
trials, tribulations, everything.
Yeah.
Repetition.
I went to go make the fingerboards. I was like, oh man, this has got to be easy. This can't be too hard. I got punched right in the face with reality there. Trying to make like the mold for the first fingerboard. Everything was just like, oh my god, this is way more technical than I thought.
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm just starting to get it now, and I made like 180 of them.
Yeah, so making the mold was difficult, eh?
Oh yeah, like just getting the whole process of starting the fingerboard company. Like I said, I thought it would be super easy. Not at all. It definitely was a lot harder than I thought, and like making a bunch of them. It took making a bunch of them to get better at it. I was nowhere near great like at it or like the best at it at all by any means. But I'm getting better at it, and it shows. So it's just like everything, like we were talking about. It takes repetition and practice to get better at anything you want to do. So, and I'm very patient, like I said, with the whole ink logo and everything. So I'll do it with the fingerboards too. I'm very patient. I'll go through the trials and tribulations. I've had people say, "Oh, this one's cruddy," and I've had a whole huge like other side of things like. 99% of other people say positive things about it and say it's great, this is cool. Holy geez, I remember Tech Decks. This is like a real deal wooden one though. Like how do you make them? Go right involved right away. So, like I'm just gonna keep at it no matter what. I just see nothing but positivity because like I'm getting some sort of reaction, and and it's mainly positive, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm working with the clothing line and the fingerboarding.
One thing I noticed with that, before I ask you about the fingerboarding, I find that there's less negativity doing something that you want to do out of passion than I ever thought there would be. You know, for example, with the podcast, and from what you were telling me before we hit record, with both Coffee Table Parks, which we'll get into, and then with Apparel, I haven't, like, with the podcast, from my own experience, I've yet to receive any like negative things about it. I get a lot of constructive feedback on like, well, the audio for this episode, or maybe like don't like muffle or move the table, let the mics on, type stuff like that, right? Like little constructive feedback that you're like, oh man, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, you
right?
needed that.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So I don't know about you, but how's the experience been in terms of like feedback?
That's what I meant to say earlier. Yeah, it's like 99% freaking positive.
Nice,
I've only had like a few like cruddy comments, and it's like people that don't know nothing about
right. So their credibility is
or the clothing, anyways, right? And like you have to be able to accept that. Like even if someone that is credible says something, then you gotta, like you said, use that as constructive criticism. Like, wow, that guy is in the clothing industry and he just like dissed my clothing line. Maybe I do have to check myself before I wreck myself. Listen to Ice Cube once or twice in the morning and focus on doing focus on doing what I gotta do, and he might be right. That guy might not be also wrong. Right. And I absolutely feed off that because I know that I'm not the best and I know I need to improve. I have wicked ideas, but they're not where I need them to be. So I definitely need help. I need to focus on building and getting better and changing daily. And that's what I've been doing. Like I said, I've had to change my whole lifestyle over to focus on this business. I can't go and spend money like I want to or used to because I'm strictly focused on this business. Going to Barcelona for a month.
Yeah, worth it though.
Oh, worth it all day long. I've worked my butt off my whole life. Definitely worth it. I was on a mode where I was taking trips everywhere. I went to Boston like 2 weeks after I got back from Barcelona. It wasn't even like a week later. We're like, hey, we're renting a car. We're going to Boston.
Nice. What was that trip like?
It was wicked. That's like a good introduction to this CTP, Coffee Table Parks thing. That's where we were always wanted to go for like a huge fingerboarding event. Yeah. Mike Schneider, this guy, big props to him. Yeah. Flat face fingerboards. He's huge in the game. Like
that's what I wrote down.
He's massive in the game, and like this guy's like a wicked coordinator of people. Like he gets everybody together from around the world for a huge event called Rendezvous. So we're like, hey, rendezvous, whatever, 25 or whatever, we're going, man. Like, let's go. And that was like a couple weeks after Barcelona. So that was just like, and either way, yeah, it was amazing, man. Like I talked to him personally. That changed the game because there's all these people there, and like he's like, oh, you Canadian guys are like wild, man. You guys are like the life of the party here, and like this is awesome to see the energy, you know what I mean? Like that's that. We started talking to him.
Positive vibes, you're saying.
Yeah.
Nice, spread it.
Yeah, and my homie Cody was like, he's like, I want to see the laboratory, man. Like right away, he's like, cut all the everything. Like I just want to see like where you create, man. Like this is amazing what you do, and we're seeing this whole event that you're doing, but like where do you create? And he's like, oh, you want to see the lab? And like takes us down into his basement,
shit, dude.
Seeing his mold, his press, his things, all the stuff that he does. And he really got personal, and we started talking and shooting more shit. And I was just like, Mike, man, I've always wanted to create a brand, always wanted to create something. Like I really want to do my own thing like this, and you're super inspiring, man. Like this is awesome. And he's like, oh man, you should show me your drawings sometimes. Like, dude, I brought them with me. I have them with me, obviously.
Fucking hell, dude. You were prepared.
I was like, I always like, you know what I mean? That, like, with stuff like that, like, just, anyways, I had my drawings, and we went through them, and we're looking at shoes and stuff like that, and all this other stuff, and he's like, man, you should definitely, like, he's like, I don't know why you're not doing this stuff, because, like, that's what you should be pursuing, you know what I mean? And, like, just the skate park designs and all that, too. Like, we were just looking at all this stuff, and I was like, yeah, man, I've always wanted to do like fingerboard stuff too, and like just never pursued it. And he's like, you should, because like look at like your drawings are like, spot on, and I was
That's sick. That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, to hear it from him, very successful person. Like you gotta understand this guy's like Lord Fingerboard. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah, like there's nobody.
like everyone around the world knows this
look
guy.
up his shit too.
Yeah, Mike Schneider, like straight up, and he's very welcoming, very informative, very inspiring, and like helped me out start like my own stuff because he's like you should just do it, man.
Yeah, what's
Like,
stopping you?
like why would you work with him? Why would you work with try and do this? Why would you design anything for anyone else? Just do your own thing.
Yeah.
And that kind of like right there was a whole different kind of spark of inspiration, right?
That's pretty sweet.
You know, whether it be fingerboarding or just do your own thing, man. Like just friggin' like stop living the friggin' stopping yourself from doing things and just get it done.
Be creative.
Yeah.
Explore different things, man. Like I cannot tell you just from not only our conversation, but like looking into what you're about, both Coffee Table Parks and Ink Apparel, looking into it and then going back and seeing, because what I like to do, I like to go to the absolute first post and see what you're about and what that because that's the intro, that sets the tone for whatever else to come. But with that tone set, it's cool to set because you're like, hey, I need to set this, I need to start this off good. Like me, I was like, episode 1 has to be sick of the podcast. And so you put yourself up here and you get something that's here. And then all of a sudden, it only grows. And to see not only like the quality of photo and the quality of like apparel and just the graphic and everything improve, and then see how it just, you can see the work and passion that goes into each piece that you put out, both for ink and CTP, which I now had to make an abbreviation because I like that. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna CTP this. It's gonna sound sick too.
Yeah.
So with Coffee Table Parks, I'm like, man, like all that stuff. I'm like, man, it's really cool to see the progression. I just want to let you know, I'm like, man, you can tell that you work hard.
Thank you.
In what you're doing.
Thank you.
So
Dude, sure. I know. I only got to check your Instagram out for a quick second because my stuff was freaking acting up forever. But yeah, I checked your stuff out, and like same goes to you, man. Like you can tell, like you're about what you're doing, and you can tell you're exploring and creating and doing your own. Like
I'm trying to do it all, taste everything, just meet new people and keep that. It's an energy, right?
Yeah.
And I talked to my buddy about this, and we talked a lot about it before we hit record. It's an energy you want to admit to people, and then I find you get that back, like everything from, and like you said, right, when you DM'd the skater, you didn't say, you basically said, this is what I'm offering you, we're going to offer you as much as you want, help, wherever, like, let me know.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you're not asking for them to do you a bunch of favors.
No.
Put me in your video, sign me, like, you know, be my buddy for a day. You're just like, yo, let
never
me help
that.
you.
No.
And then it ended up working out, right?
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how the world works. And that's like, it's really hard to express that, but like, it's definitely like the whole Team Ink, everything, it's all based around like positivity. Coffee Table Parks especially, because I'm like a 32-year-old man that fingerboards still.
Yeah. When you say it like that, yeah.
Some people like, you know, when I go to places, they look at the fingerboard, they're like kind of like chuckle or laugh, but I just like totally flipped over like my life, like I said a while ago, and just started being more creative.
Yeah.
And if I see a spot when I'm downtown Toronto at this fancy whatever, I don't give a fuck like where I am.
That's it, man.
I'm busting out my fingerboard, I'm kickflipping nose grinding this ledge, and I'm gonna put it back in my pocket.
That's it.
You know, and
that's awesome. I can imagine me like
it's the greatest like sigh of relief when you get it done. Like if you don't get it done, whatever. But you know, usually it literally triggers the same stuff in your brain that you're doing while you're skateboarding, you're fingerboarding.
Nice.
So you get that urge. It's raining out, it's snowing out, it's all winter out.
Yeah.
You know, you get to fingerboard, you get to like release those things and do crazier stuff that you could ever do on your regular skateboard.
You're only limited by your own imagination and creativity.
Yeah, and that's where like I was for a bit because I was stuck in the trades and construction, and then it gets overwhelming when you start running your own jobs and have to think of stuff after work, and you're always worried about like big responsibilities, and you know, those things get put aside because they have to. I'm not gonna be, you know what I mean, focused on building a fingerboard and then watch like some like big job that I did just go to shambles, and like
it takes a toll on you. Like, you bring it home as much as you punch out, it still stays with you.
well, and it has to, like certain jobs you have to literally think about it till the next morning to figure it out, because there's such a predicament at that job or whatever, and you're running the job. You're not just a minion working anymore. So like I was saying, you're taking more responsibility and running jobs and being a foreman, and like I said, that had to be put aside for sure. So for a couple of years, I had them hanging in the mirror. The fingerboard was there. I had huge collections of them. I was always a fan of it, but I wasn't fingerboarding as serious as I am right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like every day my coffee table is like used. I'm fingerboarding every day. People come over, have huge like just sessions where like 15, 20 kids come here just because I say something on Instagram. You know what I mean? At Go Skate Day, I bring the parks to the skate park. I bring all these parks except for this one because it's huge, but we bring Cole's concrete one to the skate park, and like there's just a big swarm of kids. It's almost as big as an event as the actual skateboarding, the finger skateboarding, because the skateboarders get involved because they're into it.
Right. It's
all
just
these
a
other
smaller scale at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's all exactly a smaller scale of skateboarding.
That's all I think of it.
So we get to release those same kind of like.
You're scratching the itch.
Yeah, you're you get the release that you.
100%.
It's a little less. You don't get like, you don't get sweaty, physical. Yeah. Oh man, I got that workout.
Right. The endorphins aren't all the way up, but you still
triggering a lot of the same stuff and doing a lot of the same, like maneuvers and getting the board to do the same thing, and just boarding is what you're doing.
Right.
Fingerboarding, skateboarding. At least you
get
to do the boarding,
right.
you know?
Just gotta get it in.
Because that's what we're all about. Like, they need to release another video game, straight up. I just podcast out, this thing goes viral because, like, Skate 3, 4, all that, like, it needs to be another.
Okay.
They need another skate game. Because, like, that's what it is, though. We have lots of fun with the fingerboarding. Mike inspired me to create the company. I started the company, now I'm knee deep in it, and we have a bunch of boards out there, sold, given away, whatever it may be, they're out there. Kids are fingerboarding and having fun, and
that's all that matters.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that, at least in my city, my town, what I can do for the people that I know, like do my best to get some boards out there and get some people fingerboarding, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it, man. That's sick. Well, I hope also with the publish of this podcast episode, and then with the after videos that I want to take with you, just kind of explaining this more like in focus, and I kind of want to see a couple.
Oh, I got tricks.
Yeah, dude, you do it.
Oh yeah,
that's sick.
I don't have this all for nothing.
I do. I'm like geeking out right now. This is sick.
Yeah, we got.
So stuff like that, like I definitely feel there'll be more, not only appreciation for the fingerboarding community and the skateboarding community, right? More of an inside perspective, I think, and that's kind of also the goal with this, is just giving people that perspective into things that they might not be unfamiliar with, so then they can go, I don't know if this is for me. Oh, Wes is doing this. Oh, he's got a cool perspective on this. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Just something to spark creativity, right?
Yeah, man.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, and like to add to that note. Just to be you have to push for it. Sorry, is what I wanted to get. You have to push for it, man. I have to work 60, 80 hours a week sometimes and still make these boards. These kids want these fingerboards, and like you can't say something to a kid and then not come through with it. Yeah. It's different, me and you. But you disappoint a little kid and say you're gonna get him that Superman fingerboard.
He's gonna be hand
painted, and you don't. He's a lot of upset and very little happy, So, anyways, you want it, and it's not about it's just about being very persistent, never giving up, being very patient, because it's not just going to happen overnight.
Right.
I've created 180 fingerboards and still, you know what I mean? There's no huge profit from it.
Right.
But we're getting them out there, and there could be eventually, and it's all about doing what you love. And I want to do what I love and make a living from it,
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't have said it better myself, man.
Yeah.
So I think time-wise, yeah, we're almost out. So I appreciate your time, buddy.
Yeah.
I really do, man.
Dude,
Yeah,
thank
I
you
look
for
forward-
coming through, man.
Yeah,
Very
no, I
nice.
appreciate you for having me, letting me set up my station, and I can't wait to see your tricks, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay,
We
man.
got this.
All right.
Did a couple flip tricks.
Thanks, guys.
What's up, everybody? So, you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you. If you're new here, or you like this video and you want to see a bunch of other podcasts or really cool, funny, random content that is probably going to be beneficial for you, let's be honest, you'll love it. You'll appreciate it, because I appreciate you. Click the subscribe button right here. And to see other videos, I have an option. One here. Oh wait, how about one here? And right here. You gonna click this one? Hit subscribe first. Much love.